Hi guys, this is Maya once again back to you with my channel English Winglish, and we are going to discuss another poem by John Berryman, which is titled The Ball. What is Oops, I missed it again. I lost it. And this is something that happens with me in life as well. I seem to be unable to maintain, to get a hold on my relationships, my bondings, my belongings, and by one mistake or another, I tend to lose my things and then I grieve over the loss. So, this is what the poem is all about, which is there on the carpet. There is a particular child who has been playing with the ball, and the ball seems to have bounced into the water, and the child is standing near the fence looking dolefully into the river where the ball has fallen. And the poet indulges in a monologue because he doesn't really feel like approaching the child and promising him to buy another or to give him some money or to console him over the loss. Because if he does it, the child will not be able to learn the lesson of responsibility in life, and the sense of loss will not be reconciled with. ज़िंदगी में बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं जो हम बहुत कायदे से रखना चाहते हैं, बहुत संभाल के रखना चाहते हैं, उसके बावजूद भी वो हमारे हाथ से छूट जाती हैं। ठीक इसी बॉल की तरह, चाहे वो कुछ रिश्ते हों, कुछ जिम्मेदारियां हों, कुछ तोहफे हों, कुछ खुशियां हों, कुछ अच्छे पल हों। So the poet indulges in a monologue and asks within, what is the ball now who has lost this ball? What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? Now the boy seems to be kind of very sad, having lost that treasure of his, the ball, merely a rubber ball that could be a trivial thing for us, the elders, but for a child, it's no less than a treasure box because it has given him so many happy moments and he cherishes those memories like ever. So, this is not just the ball that has fallen in the water, along with it, he has lost all those happy moments. He'll not be able to play with it any longer. And the ball also served as a link between him and his friends that connected them together. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? What is the boy going to do? I saw it go. The poet did see the ball going, merrily bouncing down the street. The ball was merrily bouncing down the street, and the child was in a merry mood too, playing with his desired item of game. And then merrily over, there it is in the water. The ball kept bouncing off and on, and it finally fell in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. The poet does feel an internal urge to reach the boy and tell him that there are other balls which he can buy to him. But he says there is no use for that. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down. He's looking into the river and he's looking perhaps not only on the ball but the moments that he had, the happy moments that he had with the ball, they all seem to have all of a sudden lost somewhere. He is ultimately shaking with grief. He is trembling, but he stands rigid by the fence looking into the harbor where the ball has gone. The poet decides within that he would not intrude on him. He would not intrude in the scene. He will not intervene. He'll not talk about a dime, another ball, because that is worthless. He'll not talk about the money that he can still propose to give him or the another ball he can buy him, because this is worthless. And the poet feels that the child has learned his responsibility. He senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. This world is dear to us because we have a lot of possessions here, be in the form of material things or bondings that we have with people, which we hold very close to our heart. Now, this is the first sense of loss that the child has suffered from, and this will give him a sense of responsibility that he has to hold his things very dearly and very carefully and not to lose them just like that. So people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. The poet wants to give the child the lesson that people will always buy new balls and the old balls will always be lost. But the lesson that we need to learn is how to reconcile with a pain. And no one buys a ball back because money is external. Money is an external factor. Of course, you can go and buy another thing. But as far as material things are to be replaced, possibly that can be done. But when it comes to bondings and the great things you have in your life, how would you replace them? They are not to be simply replaced. So, therefore, money is an external thing. He is learning. The child is learning. Well, behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of loss. This knowledge of loss and how to make compromise with that, how to gulp the pain in and be at peace with yourself is the lesson that the poet wants the child to have. So he says the child is learning, although his eyes are desperate and he's looking into the water and he is longing the ball to be back to his hands so that he could still play a few more days with that. But this knowledge of loss and how to stand up again once we have fallen, and knowing that every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. Because there's not a person who could be immune to loss. We all are bound to suffer from all kinds of losses, be they material, monetary, and the relationships that we have, the all those good things that we have in a life are bound to be lost someday or the other. And the sooner we learn how to adjust with the loss that we have, the better it is for us. So the child is being lessoned in this chapter of patience, mental composure, tolerance, and resignation to whatever loss one has incurred in life. But one needs to stand up again after every fall. So it's a beautiful poem that gives you a lesson too, along with that child, because nobody is coming to replace those things that are close to your heart. You need to replace those things with the new ideas, new sense of success, new hopes, and new cheerfulness in your life. And you need to replenish yourself. Go on recovering from those losses that you on the way get across. Thank you so much.